Hello, and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So we're going to take a look at the daily chart first, then we'll take a look at the smaller time frame. I haven't really looked at it in detail together, so we can see together if we can identify any reversal patterns to the upside, so stay tuned. Overall, Bitcoin remains in the range. Okay, so the overall view is unchanged. We still, Bitcoin still keeps all options open. It is, first of all, possible, and that's still the thesis, that that either wave A or wave 4 bottomed here on the 17th of October. In an alternative perspective, we might get one more low even in this structure. So it's entirely possible wave A or wave 4 get one more low, possibly in the area around 99K. Yeah, okay, it doesn't need to go that much, but sort of in this corridor here. Ideally holding above the 55-week exponential moving average. You know that one. It's been with us for quite some time now. And the last couple of years, Bitcoin held quite comfortably above this level. Now it's a dynamic level, so I can't give you an exact level when, if we hit it, it really depends on when, right? At the moment it's trading, or it's located around 99K, just above the June low. By the way, the June low could also potentially offer some additional support, structural support, yeah? And so, yeah, I mean, overall, we are looking still for higher prices, yeah? We might need another low before. I mean, that view hasn't changed. That is still possible because we haven't seen any impulse from the low in October, 17th of October. Nothing impulsive at all. There was a 5-wave move, but at best a diagonal pattern, and nothing impulsive. So as you can see, this is clearly 3 waves. So while someone asked me yesterday, but your count, are all your charts looking for higher? I said yes, but you need to listen to the analysis because it's not high confidence, right? At this point, it's not high confidence. We don't have any impulses. We're just ranging. So basically, we are in a range. And we're checking the lower time frame for signals that finally the next move up has started. But overall, Bitcoin is still in the defined in the defined boundaries. So a couple of weeks ago, we defined this resistance area. I mean, it's on the chart because it's likely going to provide resistance, right? And then we have these support lines, and the price has now been moving between resistance and support for quite some time. So the levels are still very, very meaningful, clearly being respected. And then we will, obviously, every day, multiple times even, we take a look at the smaller time frame to identify if we can see, or to identify any reversal patterns. Yesterday there was one, but it was only on the 5-minute chart, if you remember, and it was not reliable, and it broke overnight. It was only on the 5-minute chart, as I said. So, yeah, that means the situation actually hasn't changed, and it leaves us in this boring state of sideways action. At some point, probably, when enough people have switched off, the market will make a move. When enough people are bored, are leaving the market, then the market might make a move. Now, resistance levels are clearly defined, okay, between 113,460 and 121,750. We still have no confirmed bear market, even though it's of course possible that we topped. Yeah, it's possible. It would be a guess. If I tell you we have topped, it would be a guess. I can only tell you that the wave count to the upside, the wave structure is full, right? But I mean, as some of you know, I'm covering the S&P 500, I'm covering the NASDAQ, I'm covering the S&P 500 futures, the ES mini futures, and other indices on our second channel, MCO Global, MCO Global equities and commodities in that membership over there in the stocks community. And honestly, the wave count was full already in June, July. But as I said back then, basically every day when I make the member video, just because we have a full wave count, we can't focus on a downtrend because you get extensions. And I mean, the market has extended until today. So we continue to look for higher prices, but we're tracking support levels closely. But you know, you can't, just because the wave count is full. Some people do that. Some Elliott wavers do that. They say the wave count is full, and then they look for lower prices. But I think I rather treat this as being on the side of caution, yeah, so that everybody knows, look, the bull market could have topped. I mean, Elliott Wave structure wise, you know, we don't need more upside. Yeah, we don't need it to fulfill the pattern. However, it's simple trend mechanics. We're looking for higher as long as support levels are still holding, and as long as the overall trend still justifies it, because there is typically another Elliott Wave count that allows for higher prices, but Elliott Wave tells us what meaningful signals are that the trend is shifting, right? That's why we're tracking the lower time frame so closely. But as I said, I mean, the S&P, it's nearly unprecedented, the way the S&P is extending to the upside, the way the Nasdaq is extending to the upside. And you know, you can't just say just because we get all these extensions, we have to top now. That's, a lot of people are doing that, right? But it's not the right way to do it. Okay, so it's about being cautious, and bearish is different. But if we are cautious, then it at least means that nobody is surprised if a bear market starts, okay? But it also leaves the door open for higher prices. We are not this is a different narrative here on this channel than it was, for example, in 2024, than it was in 2023, when really everything pointed towards further upside, right? This is not the case anymore. Not since beginning of this year. And to be honest, the price hasn't really done much. Okay, yeah, it pushed to a new high, but look, I mean, we were already above 100K in January this year. So really, we had only a marginally higher high, divergences are building, and so on. So I just want to explain that again. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame. And first of all, I just mentioned how the concept of one more low would look like on the larger time frame. This shows you on the smaller time frame the count: 1, 2, 3, a huge 4. I don't like that, but it's possible. And now a wave 5 to the downside. So it's possible that we get one more low. I don't like that, you know, wave count as such. I don't like how it looks, but it is still possible. So this would take us lower in just an extension of wave A or wave 4. This is just if we continue to go down lower, right? It's kind of low confidence because I don't like how it all looks. I mean, could even be that this is a diagonal pattern to the downside. In blue wave 4, this is quite high, but we need a short-term bearish count, right? So that we know what we can follow. But I don't like the proportions of it, so it might shift as well a bit. I haven't got any high probability setup here. That's very important. I have no high probability setup. We have no clear, let's say, 1-2 setup to the upside. I've got an A-B structure here. That B-wave pullback is pretty full. It was already complete yesterday. Now it's extended. To be honest, it even looks a bit better now because the proportions were a bit misaligned yesterday. Now it actually looks good with that one more low. But no real reversal pattern. I just said, could this be a reversal pattern? I mean, yesterday I showed you a 5-wave move up on a micro, smaller time frame. I don't like how this looks. Looks to me more like a 3-wave move up, honestly. You could count it as 5, but it's low confidence at this stage. So to really get some more confidence that we have bottomed, let's see if today we can find support here. This is obviously just, it's not high confidence. This looks more like 3 waves up to me, but so that you have a support area to watch, it's between 108,811 and 110,248. So we need a reaction here, a break above the intraday high, then we can talk. Maybe then we can start to recover. Until then, yeah, I would say any evidence for a trend reversal to the upside is not very solid at this stage. Next structural support levels are in the area here around the October lows, September lows. By the way, yeah, we're now entering the area again where the price found a lot of support in recent months, especially here around 105,000. Actually here 103,880. That was the October low. Then we had here support mid-October, 107,400 area. And then obviously here as well, that was on the 10th of October. And then in September as well, around 107,400. So The area around 107.5k is also strong. By the way, we're back below the 21-week exponential moving average. It didn't really provide much support. But yeah, the CME gap is closed, so actually everything's prepared for the price to start to move. It just hasn't done it yet. Still remains under pressure, but we keep monitoring it. I keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then maybe you want to join our member live session today. It's at 5 p.m. UTC, not on Sunday this week. So if you want to join that or watch the recording, feel free to check out the MCO membership. And yeah, typically we cover around 40 coins in these sessions, answer all sorts of questions. Let's see what you guys bring. So hope you like the update. See you later in the stream. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.